Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Watch World, and today we are going to be looking at more new watch releases. Today, this time from Omega and Nomos. So let's start with Omega, and they have released a new version of the Speedmaster. This time to celebrate the anniversary of the Silver Snoopy Award, which they received from NASA in 1970. So the reason behind Snoopy being on this watch is because in the 1960s, Snoopy was chosen as NASA's mascot to act as a safety watchdog during spaceflight missions. The watch features Snoopy on the 9 o'clock subdial wearing a spacesuit, as he is seen on the award, and is also featured on the caseback too in his command module, travelling from the Earth to the Moon, with the phrase "Eyes on the Stars" written just above his command module. The caseback features the words "Silver Snoopy", followed by October the 5th, 1970, the date in which the award was given to Omega. When the chronograph seconds hand is used, Snoopy takes a trip around the far side of the Moon, which has been decorated on the sapphire crystal, using a unique microstructured metallization. There is also an Earth disk which rotates once per minute in sync with the watch's small seconds hand. Powering the watch is the Omega coaxial master chronometer caliber 3861, the most recent update of the Moonwatch movement. So it took Omega 4 years to produce a movement that could achieve master chronometer certification, while also at the same time matching the dimensions of the previous movement, the caliber 1861. So the watch comes in a stainless steel case and has a diameter of 42 millimeters. It has manual wind and a 50-hour power reserve. It has a lug width of 20 millimeters and comes on a blue nylon fabric strap. It has a domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on both sides and has a water resistance of 50 meters. Although I'm not a huge fan of the Snoopy subdial at 9 o'clock, I absolutely adore the colour scheme on this watch. I think the white and the blue work really well together, especially the shade of blue that they've used on this watch. And I also think that the caseback is fun too, in its own way. It's not uncommon these days for us to see Omega releasing new versions of the Speedmaster, but personally I do think this is one of the more nicer models that they have released. So this particular model comes in at €9,540 and will be available in Omega stores from the end of October. Although I do think this is an absolutely fantastic watch and it looks absolutely stunning, I do think that $9,000 is a little bit too much to be asking for an Omega Speedmaster made of stainless steel. So now we move on to Nomos, my favourite German watch brand, and they have released a new edition of the Lambda. Limited to 175 pieces, this watch was released to celebrate 175 years of glasuter watchmaking. The watch comes in white, black and blue dial variants and features Nomos' in-house caliber DUW 1001, giving the watch an impressive 84-hour power reserve. This power reserve is achievable due to the design of the twin mainspring barrels in the watch, and the movement also features 29 joules. The Lambda has a diameter of 40.5 millimeters and is a very slender watch, coming in at just 7 millimeters, so an ideal dress watch we have here. Nothing unusual there with Nomos. They are obviously well known for making very thin watches. On the dial we can see a power reserve indicator in the top half of the watch from the 12 o'clock position down to the centre of the dial, and the traditional Nomos small seconds hand is seen from the 6 o'clock position up to the centre of the watch. So this watch will set you back around €5,800, and I personally think that the black variant is the most aesthetically pleasing that they have released of these three models. Although I still prefer the Tangenta and Ludwig models, I think this is an absolutely beautiful piece that Nomos have released here, and to quote General Grievous from Star Wars, would make a fine addition to anyone's collection. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Watchworld, and I hope you have enjoyed looking at these new models from Omega and Nomos, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Okay, take care.